All right, friends, it's Timon. We're going to do one more video. We're going to react to the gym, lifting, recruiting, fitness, gear slaves. Another video. So in this video, Blaha says, if you aren't growing, don't train more, train harder. So if you're not growing, you got to train more, not harder. Okay.
You don't need to train more, you need to train harder. Hey everybody, it's JasonBlaha.
That made absolutely zero sense. So if you're not growing because muscles are post-mitotic, they do not grow. So instead of doing more, you should work harder. So if it's not growing because you're doing more, you should work harder at it, which is kind of the same thing. Because muscles are post-mitotic, they don't grow. So that's the formula. So they're not growing. They're not growing because you have to work harder at it, even though they're still post-mitotic. Nothing has changed. They're still post-mitotic. They don't grow. Blaha. What part does Blaha not understand?
Here with JasonBlaha, Strength and Fitness, and today thought I would chat with you guys and gals a little bit about this day.
Yeehaw. He looks funny here, man. Look at him. What the fuck?
Quick reminder, if you guys will please click like down below and drop me a comment. I would appreciate it so much.
Yeah,
all right, let's get over to this topic. Look, we're seeing more and more of this. For a long time when I was growing up, we all knew this was the way to train.
For a long time when he was growing up, he knew this was the way to train? What?
Serious bodybuilders did this. They all realized coming out of the Dorian Yates.
Oh, serious bodybuilders did this. Dorian Yates. Oh, they were serious bodybuilders. That's why they took drugs, because they were so serious. Man, he lives in a fantasy world. A lot of people do. This whole drug thing has people like you're just regurgitating nonsense, man. Muscles are post-mitotic. They don't grow, dude. Fucking steroids do not build muscles. Science tells you that. We want to know why? Because muscle is post-mitotic. Dude, you cannot get taller when your fucking growth plates shut off. They don't get taller. Your bones don't get taller. You understand me? You want to know why? Because they're post-mitotic. Why are muscles post-mitotic? Because they're post-mitotic at the age of 15. It's over. It's not even at 16. It's at 15. So I don't know what the fuck Blaha is talking about. Now, if you want to get your bones to get bigger, if you want to get them to get longer, you have to injure them. You have to break them. And then they repair and remodel. Remodel longer.
Things like DC training, all this stuff was out. Tons of people got crazy jacked on relatively moderate amounts of volume. I'm not saying ultra low. No one was doing the stupid hit stuff with one set. They weren't doing it, right? But people realized, look, if you needed more activity, just do more conditioning work. Go condition, go run, do cardio. Weightlifting was not cardio, right? Mechanical tension, getting stronger, and then filling in the gaps with small.
Weightlifting, any laboring is cardio. Laboring is cardio.
Exercises was even how most really good bodybuilders were training, right? All the guys who
What bodybuilders? They're on drugs.
small exercises was even how most really good bodybuilders were training, right? All the guys who had really good physiques, unless they were just blasting.
Good physiques. They didn't have good physiques. They had steroids, get it? Which create a cosmetic physique. You fool.
Insane amounts of drugs.
Yeah.
We all knew. They all trained with moderate amounts. Like the guys, we all.
They do. But muscles are post-mitotic. Scientists tell you steroids, they do not build muscles. So steroids don't build muscles. And your exercise doesn't build muscles. What builds them? Nothing. You can hypertrophy muscles. You can there is a type of hyperplasia, but it's not that kind that you're thinking of. You can activate the satellite cell to repair muscle, which would make it bigger and stronger. How does it make it bigger and stronger? By remodeling it, like a broken bone, you asshole. Man, are people really that dumb out there? When you fucking injure something like your bone, it remodels. How does it remodel? It fucking repairs and remodels it. So that section of bone now is slightly bigger and thicker there. There's like a guy welding with a welding gun. He goes, "Oh, look at this. There's a broken pipe here. Let me weld it." So they add more material to that one little tiny area, that micro tear area. You're trying to get multiple micro tears in the muscle fiber so that you can get the progenitor cell to remodel that fiber so it could get denser. It gets stronger and denser. That's how muscles grow. These fucking contractile the myofibrils grow. Christ. But muscles themselves, they don't grow just because some asshole decided, I'm going to lift the weight and they're just going to magically grow. No, they don't just magically grow because you lifted weights. Now, it was a given when you first came in the gym because what is it? What's a unique feature of eccentric exercise? What's a unique feature? That untrained subjects become stiff and sore the next day due to what? Muscle what? What's that word? Damage. So what does damage do? It activates what? The satellite cell. And what does it got to do? Oh, it's got to come out and repair and then what? Remodel those friggin' myofibrils. Get it stronger because they're susceptible to whatever it is you're doing to getting damaged. And they want to protect themselves from getting what? More damage. Get it? But you want to keep growing more contractile proteins. So you want to damage them even more. But they say, no, we don't want to get damaged. So they strengthen themselves stronger. They're less susceptible to getting damage. And then you get frustrated. You say, I reached a newbie gain limit. I have a genetic limit. I'm a hard gainer. Get it? So then you start eating your Cocoa Puffs and carbohydrate stuffing yourself. And then you go bulk dieting. And then you take creatine and all these protein powders and shit and everything. And terkestrons and everything. And then you go, look, Mom, I built a muscle. I blew up like a pincushion. I did that guy's method, the balloon method. What's his name? Superhuman You. Remember that guy on his channel? I used to make fun of him. The balloon method. So all you did the balloon method called sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. Get it? Because muscles are post-mitotic. And you don't like this thing called DOMS. It's uncomfortable. You don't like it. And you don't like you don't like being in an anabolic growth state because you can't afford it. You can only afford to eat the slave food peasant Cocoa Puff diet. Get it? For breakfast.
Who even had the best bodybuilder type physiques. I have a strength background. A lot of them only worked out 3 or 4 days a week.
He has a strength background, okay.
And they just did cardio and stuff between. So a lot of their workouts were an hour long. They got great results. We had Martin Burkham come out with this stuff.
Yeah, sure he did.
People in great shape. Oh, we even saw Nippert recently on the tubes admit he was only doing 6 sets of body part and gained muscle as a very advanced.
He did 6 body parts and he gained muscle. He didn't gain any muscle. Muscles are post-mitotic. Unless he can prove to us and explain to us how he actually built that muscle. If he has an MRI maybe or something, and I'm not talking about DEXA scan because it can't distinguish between sarcoplasmic and myofibular growth. I'm talking about a real thing like an MRI. He can prove to us that he actually built muscle. You understand me? He has to actually explain the symptoms that he fucking got trying to build myofibular growth. What were the symptoms? How long did it take? How much protein did you eat? What did you actually do? Were you in an anabolic growth state the whole time? See what I mean? What were the symptoms? He never tells you because he's never built any muscle.
With large number of years who came from this whole volume approach and 6 days.
Oh yeah, that's it.
A week lifting.
Sure.
Did a deficit and gained muscle.
You gained a deficit and they gained muscle even though muscle's post-mitotic.
6 sets a week, okay? And I think this is what people forget.
Yeah, 6 sets a week.
This was proven a long time ago.
That's it. Yeah, 6 sets a week, yeah.
This is not new. This stuff goes back and forth as circles. The evidence.
I know. The evidence points at this is not new, that muscles are post-mitotic. They do not grow.
Space community shifts in a pendulum all the time on this. They've been doing this for years and years and years.
If muscles grew,
Okay.
if muscles grew that easily, that you could just lift the weight, then nobody would be complaining about fake natties, hard gainer, genetic limit, and what's the other one? Newbie gain limit. So they wouldn't be complaining about those fucking things, dude.
It's only been a recent trend again where any of them are promoting this ultra high volume stuff, and it never worked.
You have to be,
Most of your-
look, you people really have to be stupid to believe anything that this Jack Ayers says.
When you're serious bodybuilders, serious strength athletes, everybody did less than 20 sets a week.
Serious strength
Okay.
athletes, all these fucking athletes are full of shit. They're all on drugs because they failed. They never built any myofibular. Listen, they never built any muscle because muscle's post-mitotic, okay? They failed, so they took steroids.
All the best have always done that.
They never discovered.
That.
They never even bothered to discover what type of muscle they could build. You know what I mean? There is a way around the post-mitotic part. In other words, you can't build muscle, but you can build these contractile proteins up. But they don't even know that because they're too stupid. Like Blaha. Blaha keeps trying to confirm that muscle damage has nothing to do with building muscle. No. So how the fuck do you get longer bones if you don't damage the bone so it can repair and remodel a lot longer? So then the surgery must not work, right, Blaha? So damaging bones, you can't get taller. It doesn't work, but yet people are getting taller, right? Going to the doctor's office. Fuck off.
Very few exceptions, and the only examples they had of different was stuff like Arnold during his contest prep. He didn't train with that enormous amounts of volume, other than when he was getting ready for bodybuilding shows.
He didn't train.
While upping
Buddy, he just didn't give a shit about bodybuilding. He said he used that as a platform to launch his career. He wanted to come to America and be rich. You think bodybuilding was going to make him rich? You crazy? That was the foot in the door to get him in, so he could get into the movies. He wanted to be a movie guy and have like gyms and properties. That's what he wanted. All right, and he knew that was the formula to get there. You have to start.
dose of drugs. That's it. And historically, we've seen even best pro bodybuilders 15,
I
16
think he didn't know the muscle was fake and the drugs. Give me a break.
sets a week tops.
Whatever.
Okay, then you get into the natural guys, the same sort of stuff. And we've always seen this. People just got really strong, even the natural guys. And I saw this with my own generation.
Yeah, they just got really strong. They got better at lifting weights. They recruited motor units. They never got strong. You have to structurally, your body has to get stronger to be strong. They never got strong. They got recruiting motor units. They got better at lifting by practicing at it.
Most jack guys who weren't on gear, and everyone did way less gear back then than they do today.
That's why everybody's getting injured and then retiring early, fucking off from this shitty sport.
They were just all really strong.
Yeah.
If
they're so strong, then why are they getting so many injuries? Even that Tanner Shook guy, 17 surgeries. What kind of fucking lifting slave is that? Give me a break.
To do curls. So really you would think of the way most really effective bodybuilders train.
Listen, even Alpha Destiny hurt his back. That's why he doesn't do those crazy lifts anymore. He does flat bench and a bunch of other stuff. Doesn't do that anymore because he knows he could cripple himself at this point. Even he's not that stupid. And there's a lot of other stupid people out there that's been injured already. Even Jeff Nipper and everybody else, bunch of people. Some have never come back to their channel. They've been injured and they've never been able to come back and make any more videos. I know because I go to those channels and they're all dead. They all stopped lifting. All of them. They're all gone. The 5x5 guys are all gone because they all injured the fuck out of themselves. The Ice Cream Fitness 5x5. Blaha left a trail of fucking injured people. That's what he did. A fucking destroyed fucking lifters with his 5x5 Ice Cream Fitness. Why doesn't he promote it anymore? Oh, because Blaha's moved on. I'm in the bodybuilding genre. I'm bodybuilding people. Oh, okay, yeah, sure, yeah. I hate bodybuilding. It sucks. It's a G for P. Da. Oh, it is it? Oh, okay, yeah.
who weren't blasting tons of gear when I was younger, and this was all proven. This is all
Yeah, bodybuilders are weak. Powerlifting is the king, and all of a sudden bodybuilders are strong. It's the king. It's the best. Yeah, aesthetic look, body. Yeah, okay, whatever.
understood. We all knew this. We saw it all the time. It was normal.
Well, we did.
They were
Didn't
really strong. They
it
looked
was.
like what
It
you would
was.
think
Oh,
of
we saw it all the time. It was normal. Nah, man, I considered all those people weak.
now as
Weak. They were all weak.
power building training, strength programs within the
They could not produce any force velocity because they're weak. Get it? They're small, thus they're weak. I don't care what Blah says. And they're fat. If they gain weight, they're fat, bulky.
do curls and stuff, right? Like, well, I got to keep my arms. But seriously, you would almost look at it and think they were running by today's standards powerlifting programs with some isolation work thrown in. Well, we got to have curls, you can't skip the arms. But otherwise, that's what it looked like. Dudes training 3-4 days a week. It was pretty normal. It's pretty normal. Yet everyone keeps pushing this. The solution is more volume. When has that ever worked? When has that ever worked? There's not even
I don't know. When has it ever worked?
research behind this. Let's step back and take away the real world.
Yeah, okay.
Not even research behind this. Let's step back and take away the real world and all these people with phenomenal physiques historically doing, 10, 15 sets tops.
Sure.
Who just trained really, really hard. And I've seen dudes who did less than 10. And when I say that, I mean, I've known guys when I was younger doing 8 or 9 sets of muscle group every week who had physiques that were amazingly good. They would be like most of you guys today would be like, wow, that dude's aesthetic AF, bro. Wow. Right? Dudes would be doing 8 or 9 sets. That's it.
Okay.
Training 3 days a week and just doing cardio. Okay?
Sure.
But they trained hard.
Oh.
They trained hard. And I'm not saying training itself
They
is
trained hard, yeah.
hard. It's not. But I mean, yeah, dudes do chin-ups to failure. They do a couple sets of curls to failure.
I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do. But they're not building muscle. They're not building any muscle. See what I mean? They're not building muscle.
There'd be strict stuff to failure. Strict curls, some preacher curls, whatever, They do some inclines, some laterals, and they're done with shoulders. But that's how a lot of these dudes train.
What's that Lions lady name? Her name is Lions or something? That lady that is always promoting eating protein and building muscle. You need to eat protein. You need to build muscle and all that. I forget her name. Rebecca Lyons or something or whatever. Susan Lyons. She's always on these channels, man. She's crazy. Nobody's building any muscle. None of these old people.
Like their whole leg workout. 3 sets of pause squats, 3 sets of leg presses, they're done.
It's like, why do you think people are complaining? I told you got these newbie gains in the beginning. What were those newbie gains? Well, you could call it, people say muscle growth. You get some, myofibrils when you come in the gym the first time. Why? Because a unique feature, what's a unique feature of untrained subjects? What's a unique feature of eccentric exercise is that untrained subjects become stiffest or the next day due to what? Muscle damage. And then what happens in the second week, like it says in NCBI, the group that came in the second week got much less damage, and then there was no more damage. They got much less, right? What was one of the proposed mechanisms? The reason why the body now is producing, in the second week, it produced less damage than in the first week. Well, what was it? An increase in what is sarcomere in parallel in the series. Okay, there you go. So what did you get? You got some contractile proteins, myofibular growth. Okay, dude, that's what you got. And then there's much less damage. And so what do you call it? Because now you're not getting any more damage because the muscle is protecting from getting any more damage. What do you all call it? Newbie gain limits, genetic limit, hard gainer. See, listen, am I a hard gainer? I'm eating shitloads of protein, and protein should build muscle, right? So if protein synthesis outpaces protein breakdown, I should be building muscles, right? I should be, right? Well, I'm outpacing that. I'm in an anabolic growth state right now, all the time. You guys see me. I post videos of me eating and everything. I'm in an anabolic growth state. So why aren't my muscles growing? If protein synthesis outpaces protein breakdown, that's when muscles repair and grow. Listen to the word. They repair and grow. So why aren't my muscles growing? You want to know why they're not growing? Because there's nothing to repair. There's nothing to repair. If there's nothing to repair, then there's nothing to grow. Get it? So how could my muscles possibly grow if I'm in an anabolic growth state? How could they possibly grow if there's nothing to repair? See what I mean? None of you have anything to repair, so there's no growth. And then you wonder, why am I not growing? Well, because muscles are post-mitotic. Muscles do not grow because you just lift weights. They have to be what? In a state where there's something to repair. So if they're telling you something to repair to grow, then what do they mean by repair? That must mean that something needs to be damaged to repair itself, right? To grow. It has to be damaged to repair, to grow. Get it? Fuck.
That's their whole leg day. But they would push progression. They got really strong and used progressive overload.
Oh, they got really strong using progressive overload. Yeah, increasing motor unit. Okay.
All right? Progressive overload. And any time you saw anybody trying to do the huge amounts of volume, everyone pointed out, you're just overtraining, dude. And that's how they saw it. But it worked.
It worked. I overloaded my nervous system, and my nervous system jumped back by recruiting more motor units in the nervous system. So the nervous system now is forced to lift heavier. Here's the question. You ever heard of the Golgi tendon? Like, people go and they arm wrestle, right? And you see there's a twist and bones can actually break and stuff because, it just releases. If it feels that it's really weak at some point, your body will do what? It will release a very powerful hormone called what? Adrenaline. So let's say, what could possibly make you win in a arm wrestling match, even though you're weak? Guess what it is? Adrenaline. Adrenaline will fucking come out. It's a very powerful hormone. It's known for people that they get an influx of it. They can lift a car, a 10,000-pound car, and all this kind of weird shit, to hold a boulder over their head or whatever, because that's how powerful that hormone is. See what I mean? So what is it really based on? What's that strength based on? Hormonal strength. Or this, what do you call it? Motor unit. Fucking motor unit strength. Get nervous system. You're overloading your nervous system. Duh.
It worked. People trained harder, though. They goof off today. It's all machines.
But that strength is temporary too, and so is this. This is temporary. It has to be challenged all the time. You have to keep doing it to keep it.
And I remember, again, the same thing. I watched this with DC training was really big then. And even Dante back then was getting guys super big. Now, granted, he pushed gear.
Oh, yeah.
But it was really that sort of idea. He told them, he goes, look, if you can deadlift 500 pounds for 20 reps, or you can bench press 300 for 20 reps, you're going to be a monster, period. Doesn't matter.
Or you're going to be a monster if you just bench press or do these lifts. Okay, yeah, sure, yeah.
How much you train. If your sets look like that, you're going to be massive.
If your sets look like that, you're going to be massive, even though the muscles are post-mitotic, and you reach the newbie gain limit and all this other bullshit and whatever else. Yeah, sure, okay.
And he was right.
He was?
He's absolutely right.
Why is that?
But everyone's lost
Why is that?
sight of this. They just think the solution is to just do more, right?
Oh, so the solution they think is to do more, but it really is to work hard.
And it doesn't work. You need to, even Doucette will say this. Look, you just need to train harder.
Yes, even Greg Doucette will say this. Just train harder, you fools.
Just train harder. Do some sets to failure.
Sure, yeah.
Load more weight on the bar over time.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay? This has worked historically extremely.
Just load more weight on the bar, and even though muscles are post-mitotic, that will make them grow. See what I mean? Even though there's nothing to repair and grow, they'll just grow magically. And, you don't even have to be in protein synthesis. Get it? Outpaces protein breakdown. You don't need to be in an anabolic growth state either. Oh, okay.
Extremely well. And it did work in all the studies until Schoenfeld and these other people came out with this crazy high volume. And when you look at their data and you really look at it closely, the conclusions don't even match the data. And it's been torn apart. Plenty of
Oh,
researchers have torn it apart.
really?
You had lots of research showing anything over about 10 sets a week showed reduced muscle growth compared to 10. There were studies showing that just 15 years ago.
But all those tests that you're really watching when they say, oh, this group built muscle, this group built muscle, this group built muscle, all those studies that you're seeing is based on sarcoplasmic muscle. That's what you're seeing there. It's just they're not telling you exactly, are these based on contractile proteins or non-contractile? Really, the tests are non-contractile proteins. The muscles can hypertrophy, but you cannot grow muscle. Listen to me, man. You cannot build muscle. You can hypertrophy the original muscles. They can hypertrophy, and they can hypertrophy through what? Cell swelling. They can hypertrophy through sarcoplasmic, and they can hypertrophy through contractile proteins. But which one do you think is the hardest of the three? Which one is the most difficult? The difficulty, how high the difficulty, the bar is of all three? The contractile proteins, sarcoplasmic, or cell swelling. Which one do you think is the hardest to get, and which ones are the easiest? Well, the cell swelling is the easiest. Then there's sarcoplasmic. It's slightly easier, but you still have to put effort into it. And then the last one, the contractile proteins, are astronomically difficult. Do you need to be protein needs to exceed breakdown? You need to be in anabolic growth state. Man, you have to prime it for it to get damaged, to go through a repair and a remodeling constantly. It has to be consistent over time. You need to be in anabolic growth state consistently over that period of time when you're growing those muscles. And you won't even see growth until the third month, actually. If you actually did it properly and you were serious, you won't even see anything coming out until the third month.
Then you had this strange shift, but everyone else, they think the solution is.
But here's the thing. When people don't see results right away, because they think, I need to see results right away. So they say, some people will tell you, oh, I've got these DOMs and, this and that, but I didn't get any muscle growth. You know what I mean? So just because the 2-3 weeks they got DOMs within a 2 or 3 week period, or a 4 week, even a 4 week period. I saw a guy on a channel. He goes, "Oh, I had DOMs excessively, but I didn't see any growth." Well, number one, you don't see growth right away from doing myofibrillar training, exercise-induced muscle damage training. You don't see it right away. Number two, you need to be protein synthesis needs to exceed that breakdown to even see any mass. But you should see something even in the first month, even those 4 weeks. There should be something still there. You understand me? But the majority of it will be in the third month. But still, you should see something there. But this guy's not seeing anything because protein synthesis is not exceeding protein breakdown. He's thinking that the muscles will just magically grow on his Cocoa Puff cereal fucking diet. Get it? That they should just magically grow eating slave food diet because I damaged it. I got these DOMs. They didn't grow. Yeah, they don't grow on Cocoa Puffs, dude. I got news for you. They don't grow on Cocoa Puffs.
Just do more. No, guys, this isn't cardio.
Yeah, this
right?
isn't cardio.
Go do cardio. Do conditioning if you want to.
Just do more. This isn't cardio.
More. I mean, I do GPP all the time. I run.
Yeah, he does gay PP. He does gay PP.
Lifting needs to be hard and needs to be intense, and you need to be focusing on progressive overload.
Yeah, a lot of people do that. You know what the problem is with that? Nothing going on there. Post-mitotic, there's no damage, no repair, no growth. They're not even in positive nitrogen balance.
You want to get big, guys. And unless you want to keep...
You want to get big, guys.
Just adding more and more and more.
Guys, you want to get big, so what do people do? They start getting fat. They start overloading on carbohydrates. They call it bulk dieting. Yeah.
Drugs, you're not going to have a choice. If you want to stay drug-free or you want to...
You know that you've reached the pinnacle of failure if you have to bulk diet to pretend to build muscle. Get it? You've reached this is the pinnacle of failure. You know you've reached it. Trust me if you're doing that. I've never done that, but I know people that do that.
Use reasonably conservative amounts of stuff, you're going to have to train like that.
Oh, yeah.
And the people who are demonstrating otherwise, they're just using lots and lots of drugs.
The people, they're just using lots and lots of drugs, people. I'm sorry. It's just unfortunate, yeah.
All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I
All
hope
right,
it's
guys,
been
that's all I have
informative,
to say on that.
and I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.
While he throws his ball up in the air. Yeah! Yeah! Man, this guy's really silly, isn't he? I'll see you in the next one, friends. Ciao.